What's up guys, the Bobcat here and welcome to a brand new Let's Play of Fallen Enchantress Legendary Heroes. Now, a few quick things before we get into it. The EU4 Let's Play as Moscovy is going to end, sadly, because we've sort of gotten ourselves into a corner in that one. Also, another thing, you may have noticed that this video is in fact in 1080p. I got a new monitor, which I was really looking forward to, and that's kind of why I haven't been recording or uploading. So that's why we're going to be ending the playthrough of that game. I will come back to it and probably choose a different nation to play as. But for now, we're going to be playing Fallen Enchantress Legendary Heroes, which I recently purchased thanks to watching another YouTuber known as Get Daved do a Let's Play on that, and got me really interested in it. So I thought I might as well go ahead and buy it. So we're going to start a new game. The scenario is actually more of a campaign. So, I'm going to get into a new game, and this first video is mostly going to be me talking about the different factions and the abilities. So, we may not get into the game till part 2. If we do get into a game, if we do start the game I should say, in part 1, then I will put a link in the description leading to the time zone when, well, not the time zone, the time frame when that starts. But for now, we're just going to look through all the races and see how they go. I'm not an expert at this game by any stretch of the imagination. I'm really not that great at it. I've done okay, I've won a few games, so I don't know all the things about them. So first we have Lord Velius of the Kingdom of Altar. Now, being a Valerian, he gets 10% experience and the rush bonus. Each faction has their own bonuses. The rush is really good. It allows you to move extra spaces in that turn, which is how the combat is done, which we'll explain once we get into the actual combat of the game. That rush is really useful. So I'm thinking which when we create a character, I'm just going to go back for a second because the volume's a tad loud. Let's put this down a little bit. There we go. So as him, the rush action is very useful. He's a really good one to start off with. He starts off with air and fire. Air, it's alright, air, it's quite useful. Fire, not so much. And these are the magics, and we'll talk about them on the character creation screen where we get to choose our magic. He himself, because he is a hero who we will have as a unit, gets disciplined and train henchman. So disciplined means he gets 1 accuracy and 1 spell resistance per level, and train henchman means he gets to train a special type of unit, 4 to be exact. And these units are special to his race, his faction alone. Also, as the Altar people, we get Wanderlust, so we can unlock quest maps and these items here, and Heroic, so completing quests gives us double experience, as it says. So his unique equipment is the what is this? Alacan leather armor, which gives fire defense and 7 defense, 25% fire resistance, so it's good armor. The quest map spawns a new quest, and these 2 swords are actually quite nice. The Fending Blade, which gives 10 attack, 3 initiative, 2 dodge and 2 counter attacks per round. That is quite nice. And then we have the Alacan Longsword, 15 attack, 2 initiative and 2 counter attacks per round. Again, we'll talk about the counter attack thing once we get into the battles. So the second faction is General Carrodus of the Kingdom of Capita. You can read these descriptions here if you want. I'll just go back. Wait a minute. You can pause the video if you want, and you can read it there. So he is a Mesa, so he gets +1 accuracy per level, and he gets to move in extra space. His entire faction does, which is actually quite powerful, really, because moving extra ones can allow you to catch people. His magics we will talk about later. He is a tactician, so his army gets +1 initiative. That's very nice. Initiative is a big thing in this game. And again, we'll talk about all the initiative things in the actual character creation screen. And he gets Cautious, which allows him to escape from battle with the remainder of his men. Not the most useful of abilities, but with his faction he gets Civics. So he starts off with this technology, which is, you know, saves you 12 seasons or turns, which is quite nice. The Legend of Serara, which means he can build a special type of city and warehouses, and war horses even, so you get special types of cavalry by the looks of things, and lucky, so all units get 25% accuracy and 25% dodge. quite strong. So he gets a unique equipment, which is his warhorse. As you can see, 2 moves, 100% prone avoidance, so he can't be knocked prone. +3 attack and +3 initiative. And his unique improvements are the bizarre. So rush cost is more, but the wealth it produces is more. So then we have Oracle Seras, who is of the Empire of Reslin, or Rezolin. I don't know how to pronounce that, I apologise. She is... Ooh, a quick thing actually. These factions are categorised between good and evil. He's good, Tarth are good, and Gildan and Paladin. The rest are evil, so this one, and this one are all evil, so they get death discipline instead of life. So they are of Wraith Blood. So they get a special ability which allows them to drain 1 hit point per level from the victim, unless they resist. It's quite nice that, I suppose. It can heal your unit, obviously, so it's got its uses. And they also get better dodge, but they lose hit points per level, so they're a bit squishy, I suppose. They get attunement, so they get +2 mana per season, very nice. Sovereign Blood, so she herself can summon a familiar, which is quite nice. And Scarred, so the entire army, or her specifically, only heal 1 point per season, which is kind of a shame, because healing, again, it's important. And as Reslin, they get Adepts, so they start with Shard Harvesting, a very powerful one. They get Death Worship, so they can unlock a bunch of spells, which are quite nice. Binding, which means they get special elements from the shrines they have. Cult of 100 Eyes, so they can train spiders. And no armour, so this is a big thing, they cannot craft armour, so with these people you'd most likely be using spiders and creatures you have sort of created, I suppose. So they're an alright race, do have the problems, but you know. Then we have Lady Irena of the Kingdom of Tarth. I will say this now, Tarth is the weakest race. It's so bad because they have bows, and you'd think bows would be good. They're not. Bows are pretty much useless, and they're really not that good. I mean, they get a +3 initiative when they're in an army that is smaller, and +3 attack, double strike, which is quite nice. But they don't have any other bonuses. They have Mastery of Master Scouts even, not Mastery of Scrolls, I don't know what I was talking about, which allows them to move through things like forests and swamps and hills and rivers, as it says, without suffering any movement penalties, which is quite strong. It really cuts down the amount of time you have to spend travelling. Stealth, so monsters won't attack the player. That's alright, I suppose, but once you get strong enough, you don't really need to worry about too many monsters. Archers, they get a unique set of bows. As I said, bows are useless, and they get Master Chainmail, which means their heavy armour gets replaced with chainmail, or actually their plate mail gets replaced with Master Chainmail, which is cheaper and is got not as much defense, but it doesn't hamper your initiative as much. And they're also rebels, so they suffer from 10% unrest. I haven't had any problems with unrest before, so you know, but I've tried to play these people and they're really, really bad, because you don't unlock bows till the end of the game, and bows are useless because they've just got such a huge initiative drain. It's quite painful, and you might as well just get staves and just blow them apart with magic. So yeah, these guys aren't very good. Emperor Caradoc of the Emperor of Caraxis, I think that's how you say that. Again, I'm not good at pronunciation. So they get Crack's Blood, so they get 8 defense when under 50 HP, and they can fortify their units. And they also have Wealthy, so they start with 500 Gildar, which is quite a lot of Gildar, and that could be very useful early on. As their faction, they get defensive, so they unlock better defenders, and they also unlock bronze shields and a special type of spear. Excuse me. And then they also unlock a special spell called Broken Loyalties, which converts a city. So that essentially means you don't have to attack a city to take it, but I imagine that being quite expensive. So they get bronze shields, quite nice shields. They're obviously better than early game ones, and they get a lot of nice spears. Spears are actually really useful, especially these like lightning ones. But again, they're alright, I suppose. I haven't really used them. So I suppose they could be nice. But we'll move on for now and to Cullen. That's the actual name of the person, by the way, in case I didn't mention it. Emperor Caradoc is this man here, who is our first hero, I suppose, on the field. Then we have Cullen of the Empire of Umber. They have special blood again. Again, I apologise for the coughing. So this unit receives double the normal swarm bonus, and swarm is an ability where if you have more men around the enemy, you get more attack damage and more accuracy in things. Again, with the magics, we'll talk about them later. He himself has might, so 3% more physical. He has discipline. He's also cruel, so they do get 5% unrest in all cities, but you do get the extra physical damage. Probably not worth it, that one. But as Umbar, they get Assassin's Tools, so they get Poison Vial, which is poison damage per round. They're Master Scouts. They have Warriors, so they can construct barracks immediately, and they have Masterwork Chainmail. So they have some nice weapons. I don't think they're quite as good as Lord Velius's, but they're alright. They've got no particular bad traits, but I don't think they're very good either. Then we have Magna, Emperor of Empire of Magna. Wow, he literally named himself after his empire. I think that's how you say that. So he is of, Quendar blood. So they have fire resistance, but they're weak to cold, and they can do flame tongue, which is 2 fire damage per level of victims. He is brilliant, so he gains more experience and +2 spell mastery per level. Again, I apologise for all the coughing. And he can train slaves. Now, slaves are interesting because they don't cost wages and they cost very little labour, but you can get big armies out very quickly. So with the slaves, you can essentially just get huge armies and lots of them, which are really, really weak and just wear down the enemy, which is, you know, quite strong in itself. So he's a slave lord, so raising a city transfers half its population, and defeating people in battle sends some population to your nearest city. The Fleshbound Tome, which gives them a bunch of special magics, and the Masterwork Chainmail. So they get a special type of stone, which is known as the Scar Stone, gives them an extra fire attack. It's an item or trinket which is held, and the Masterwork Chainmail. Now we have Gildan, Lord Markin of the Kingdom of Gildan. He is of Ioneer blood, so tactical spells cost more. He has high spell resistance and gets 1 extra hit point per level. He also has Guarding Strike, which allows them to defend and attack at a much lower rate, so their defense is increased but the attack is halved. So they are hardy, well he is specifically, and he can train golems. Now these iron golems may sound amazing. They're not as good as they're made out to be. I've played as him in a custom game and in normal game. They're not very good golems. And the most is the fact that they don't do enough damage and they're very slow. So the Masterwork Smiths, that is a really, really nice ability to have. And when we create a character, I'm trying to decide if I want to play as Lord Velius or someone of the Kingdom of Gildan, or the Kingdom of Altar is what I meant to say. Because these abilities are really powerful. So they unlock Great Hammers, which allows them to get a bunch of special weapons, or hammers specifically, and they also get Light Plate, which is, again, instead of chainmail, they have Light Plate. Better defense, but it's heavier, so lower initiative. Then we have Queen Proserpine of the Kingdom of Paradin. Now Paradin are mages, so they have weak, so they don't do a lot of physical damage. But they are of Altmar blood, so they gain +1 dodge. Well, for each shard they have, they gain a special bonus. So dodge is air shards, initiative per fire shard, mastery per water shard, and spell resistance per earth. They also have Soul Spark, which allows them to just sort of throw a lightning bolt at the enemy. She herself has 3 disciplines, very powerful. They get special tomes and also special staffs. So their unique equipment is all these tomes here, which allow them to sort of learn the magics just by buying them, essentially, which is really nice because these give special bonuses. And again, we'll talk about them. Well, the magic gives special bonuses to cities and things, and we'll get into that when we talk about the character creation and on the actual screen. They also get special staves and special staffs and things. So And their unique improvement is a scrying pool. That scrying pool is pretty nice, because that one essence is really, really potent. And again, we'll talk about essence when we get into the actual game. And then we have Warlord Verga of the Emperor of Ythril. He is of Trog Blood, so he gets +2 attack when under 50, and he gets the ability to go berserk, so he just runs around and potentially attacks anyone. Again, the magic is hardy as well, and he can train Juggernauts. Now, this race, it's got a bit of a downside in that it can't have ranged weapons, so no staffs, no bows. But these Juggernauts are crazy. They are so powerful. Because they have axes, axes have backswing, which means if they miss, they can attack again. And these Juggernauts have an ability called Maul, so every time they hit, they attack again. So they can get into a huge, essentially frenzy of attacking, where they attack, miss, backswing, get the hit, and keep on attacking and just destroying everything. They also have splash damage, as it says, so they hit surrounding enemies, which is very dangerous. They are warriors, so they start off with barrackses, or they can build them. Each warrior trained, warrior trained gets an extra level. They are tough, and they have axe mastery, so every single axe they have 2 of. So that's the races, or factions I should say. The one we're going to play as, I think, is going to be the Kingdom Altar, and we'll create a character now. So we will randomise our name, because why not, till we find a nice one. And we won't be of Capitar, we won't be of Gildan, or Paradin, or Tarth, or Craxus, or Magna. Where is it? Come on. There we are. Kingdom of Altar. We will be male. And we'll see if we can find a name. I could just call him the Bobcat, which I'm considering doing. Is to legend. No, not that name. We'll just call ourselves the Bobcat for now. Feeling unoriginal. So each time we put one of these, choose one of these things or traits, we, oops, come on, don't crash. Okay, there we go. Each time we choose one of these, we lose a point, obviously. So they are adventurers by nature, so they have that ability already with them. So, we're going to choose, I think, 2 abilities, and that's going to be, I think, air and earth. We'll leave the others, and we can probably pick them up later on. But we want air and earth, because air gives us haste, which gives us 3 initiative on a unit, which means we can get a really heavy unit to essentially go really quickly. Earth also gives us enchanted hammers, which is an ability you cast onto a city, which is very, very potent. It's such a good ability. So we'll choose those 2. We have 2 points left, so we could choose some of these, like Bandit Lord. We have the ability to convert bandits, plus 50 burst beast, scholar. I don't think we'll choose any more of these. I think we'll leave them for now. We'll move on to the talents. So we could choose a weakness, which would give us an extra point. So we could choose clumsy. Not a big deal, clumsy. But for our abilities, I think we will take tactician, and we get 1 more. We could go back and put it in here, I think. Can we? No, we have to choose one of these. So we'll stay as adventurer. Yeah, adventurer sounds good. So we want 1 more. Tactician is really nice. Ooh. Should we choose might? Yeah, we'll choose might. Just want to make sure I haven't messed anything up. No. So we'll go over to appearance now. We can give ourselves some nice looking clothes. We won't have any gloves, I don't think. Equipment is what we start with, so we'll leave that for now. We don't want to look like an idiot, so I think we'll choose a shirt first. We'll choose the red one because that's our faction colour. And I think... that looks quite nice, but a bit too red, I think. That looks good. We can give ourselves a nice hairstyle. We won't take a cloak. Oh, we could do. I'm not sure. we'll have a nice blue coat, I think. And for head, oop. Wow, we are grizzled and old. Okay, we'll give ourselves a nice hairstyle if we can. Don't think we can turn our guy around, so see if we can't get a nice hairstyle. That one seems alright. We could have a beard or we could look more grizzled. Face, is there any guy who doesn't look so aged and grizzled? I think we'll stick with that one. Skin, whoa, that is creepy. Wow. I think we'll stick with this one. Looks nice. Looks a bit aged, a bit tired around the eyes, but he's got a beard and everything, so we'll keep him. Body wise, looks fine. Starting equipment, we won't take the war staff. The rusty short sword, we could do. Yeah, I think we'll take the rusty short sword for now. We can't have bunny slippers, sadly, because we used up all our abilities. In fact, if we went back to talents, we could untick might, gain another ability, well, another point, and we could add something else like dragon bracelets or bunny slippers. I'm thinking we take the bunny slippers. We're taking the bunny slippers. When you are presented with bunny slippers, you take the bunny slippers. We have a backstory here, so it tells us about essentially what we do. I think we can. Oh, yeah, we can rewrite all this if we want to. I'm not going to, obviously. So we will go next, I think, if this is correct. That one looks nice. Nice picture. Now we'll choose that one. Save. So that's our guy now, and we'll choose him, and we will start a game. So we'll leave it on random. We'll don't know about large. Maybe we'll drop it down just a little bit, so we have a nice frame rate. So the world in this game is actually probably the most dangerous thing early on, because there's a lot of creatures out there which can kill you really easily. So we'll leave all the productions. We'll have plenty of quests to do, hopefully. A wildland frequency, we'll leave those. We'll leave it on normal, monster frequency, yes. Yes, we'll leave them all on normal and everything. So we'll have a random map. Next. Number of opponents, 4. We'll leave it on even. So this is essentially good versus bad. So we have good guys at the kingdoms, the bad guys at the empires. I think that's how that works. We have 4 victory conditions: conquest, diplomacy, master quest, or spell of making. Who knows? I've only ever managed to complete conquest because I got so big that the other players, well, the last player which was left alive, just surrendered to me without me doing anything, so I couldn't complete the master quest. So I think we'll have 5 opponents. Yeah, 5 opponents sounds nice. Give us plenty of people to fight, and we will begin. So this is where I'll put the thing in the description to, or maybe an annotation on the screen if I can do that. So it's loading. Come on. Hopefully it won't crash horribly. And we begin. Fallen Enchantress. Far beneath the withered plains of the world, the bobcat discovers his calling to do far greater things than dig, because we were a miner. That's what our sort of default backstory is. A mining expedition on the eastern side of the can't say that. The eastern side of the Scaps had the bobcat and a dozen other tolling for years, with no family, home, or drive to adventure. The humble miner spent long days digging downwards and restful nights under the sky watching upwards. One morning he had a stirring. He dug a small tunnel. We discovered relics of the cataclysms. We touched a crystal, got visions in our mind, became a enchanter, I suppose, and we left to find the great powers beheld in that vision. Okay then. So as you can see, we have a bunch of places we can settle. We also have 2 units with us, spearmen and militia. So as our leader, when we first start off, we get a choice to settle a city, obviously. And as you can see, this is food production, and this one here is essence. That is really important. So we have 2 essence there. I think we'll go for the 2 essence, because essence means we can put more things on our cities, and we just get more for having more essence, and essence is really nice to have. So we'll move over 1. I meant with the whole force, not with just him. And we shall settle our kingdom. Here we go. The moment has come. The moment that all your travels, all your battles, all your years of studying swordplay have led to. The founding of Akrithbia? What? The capital of the kingdom of Altar. Now your story and the story of Altar are the few who follow you. The legions of flaws will flock to your banner, for the week to come truly begins. Yeah. So we get to choose something to build. So we'll just select that, build. I think we'll have a monument first. We do have 24 unrest, which is kind of hampering some certain things. We'll get a monument first, then the merchants. I don't think we'll get the Tower of Domination. I don't even know why that's there really, because it didn't appear in my very first game I played. Perhaps we unlock that. Perhaps I unlocked that when I managed to win using the conquest victory, and we'll queue up the clerics. So as you can see, it's very Civ-like in its looks and everything. However, the combat is very different to Civ. So we have a bunch of treasure chests and a bunch of quests. We have a deadly and a weak. We will obviously go and do the weak because that is what we are at the moment. So we'll head out for the weak, and we will end turn. I forgot to do that, so we've kind of wasted a turn there, or a season. But now we get to choose 3 technology paths to go down, and we can go down all of them eventually. But for now, we will leave warfare alone just a little bit. I don't see any shards around us, so we'll leave magic alone. And I think we shall get civics, because that gets the bell tower, the docks, the inn, and produce wealth. So we'll grab that, and then we'll grab these lost goods. And we get a dark candle, so we can summon a burning wraith. Very interesting. And we will continue on. I'll do a quick save, just to make sure nothing happens. And end turn. Keep moving. There's a sea there. So hopefully we'll acquire fame soon. Okay, we'll equip that because we can. And we have a weak army and a weak army. This is a bunch of rockling spiders. Shouldn't prove too much of a challenge. And then we'll get our first look at combat once we grab this item and head out down to there. Our monument has been completed, so we can actually start building on this iron mine. There you go. Spread out a bit. We can also build this iron mine. And iron is really important because you need that to make weapons and armor. So we'll grab this abandoned caravan. Ooh, very nice. In case you're wondering, that gives us +1 initiative, and the helmet just gives us defense. And the bunny slippers, of course. So we'll select our army, and we will quick save. And we'll march against this rock spiderling army. There we go, got that said right. But we also have wild grain, so we'll start building on that. And we will fight. And we can auto-resolve, but we don't need to because we'll battle. So the battle screen, as you can see, is very similar to that of, say, is that a good example? Heroes of Might and Magic. That was it. So they're surrounding us now, so they're getting better attacks and everything. And they're starting to kill our men. Now, each one of our units has attack and defense. As you can see, we only have 8 attack. So we'll move here, and we will kill him. And you can see the bunny slippers. Now, these guys have 5 times 2. So there's 2 of them, so each one of them can do 5 damage. As you can see down there in the bottom corner, here, there is a chance to hit and how much damage each one will do. So we don't have the highest chance of being able to kill all these men. So I think we might just run away with this guy. Yeah, we'll run away to here. Yeah. I think we'll still be able to be gotten by a few of them. But that was the rush ability you just saw. We could take an extra action. So we'll stab these guys. We killed them. And then our militia go. Our militia have 6 times 3 because they're using clubs. But they also go last because of their initiative is really low. So you guys can go there and smack them. Ooh, a miss. That there was a counter-attack because we're using a sword. And that's what all the counter-attacking was about. So, we'll see if we can kill him. Oh, he dodged. Our accuracy is pretty poor. Our militia are getting beat on. I don't want to lose a unit this early on, because that can be really painful doing that. So you can go and attack that one. And now we only have one left. Whack. That bash is quite important because it can knock enemies prone, which means they lose their turn. And we have leveled up. So we have 5 paths to go down: Assassin, Defender, Commander, Mage and Warrior. I often like to choose Commander early on because we will be using this guy the most, and it's just really useful to have. So we'll choose Commander. And I think we will end this first part here. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this first part. I will start recording the second part right away. And, well, I hope you guys enjoy the first part and look forward to more of this series. I'm going to, as I said, put a cut here, and when we return, we will finish off doing some killing this. Well, probably heal up first, deal with this ruffian army, which is all spearmen. Actually, is it? Yeah, all spearmen. And we'll grab some of these, we'll start a quest as well. So I will see you guys then.